Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to make this purse from scratch. Make sure you get all your materials ready as we're about to begin. We'll start by cutting your chipboard into the following dimensions. Please note all the dimensions are in inches: 7.5 by 11.5, 7.5 by 11, 7.5 by 2 in 4 places, and 7.5 by 3.5. So once all the dimensions has been cut, the 7.5 by 11.5 is going to give the exact size of the purse. So you measure on the 7.5 by 11.5, 3.5, 1 inch, another 3.5, 1 inch, and what you have left is 2.5. You move up a little bit and you do the same again: 3.5, 1 inch, 3.5, 1 inch, and 2.5. So join your points together and roll the lines. This is to divide the front, the back, and the flap of the purse, with 1 inch in between each. Now once this has been completed, the 2.5 part is the flap of the purse, and you can do whatever shape you like in front of it. For me, I'm going to be going with a V shape, so I measured 1 inch on both sides and I marked the center of the flap and joined the points together just to give me a V shape in front of my purse. Then I'm going to use a curved object to curve the sharp points of the V shape, because I don't want a sharp point. You can do whatever shape you like depending on the design you want to work with. So cut this out, and then we're going to use this to cut out the other part of the purse. After cutting out your shape, you're going to use this to cut out the same shape you've cut out for this on the 7.5 by 11. The 7.5 by 11 is like the facing inside the purse. It is a little bit shorter, and there's a reason for that. So place it equally at the top of the 7.5 by 11 and draw out whatever shape that you have made. After drawing out the shape, you cut it out. But before you cut it out, ensure to mark out those lines that you drew on the body of the purse, also on the facing of the purse. Now I'm referring to the 7.5 by 11 as the facing of the purse. Once you've drawn out those lines, cut it out respectively the same way you did for the other one. Don't forget, the first measurement that we worked on was 7.5 by 11.5, while this was 7.5 by 11, so it's a little bit shorter than the other one, but the lines are still equal, leaving a ½ inch space at the lower part. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to mark out 1 centimeter on both sides. You move up a little bit, you mark 1 centimeter again on both sides, and then you join your points together. This is being done on the 7.5 by 11. So once you have done this, get a curved object and then just curve out these corresponding angles I am curving out. You can slow down the video or pause the video to see clearly the points where I'm curving out. Once you have done that, you cut it out. This part is being cut out to ensure that we don't have too much overlapping on our purse. We don't want to have more than 2 layers of leather falling on each other when we are done sewing the purse. So this is why we are cutting out this part. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out a part also on the 7.5 by 2 inches. The 7.5 by 3.5 is going to sit in this particular point, while the 7.5 by 2 inches, which is in 4 places, you're going to separate 3 of it, and then you're going to mark 1 centimeter, just as I'm doing, 1 centimeter again, and join the points together in a straight line. Then you mark ½ inch from one side, ½ inch again from the other side. Rule out that point. Then use a curved object to curve it out. So you're going to do this for 3 out of the 4 pieces of the 7.5 by 2 inches. You're going to do this for 3 out of it, and then you have one that is not cut out in any way. So the main pocket of the purse is the 7.5 by 3.5, which is going to sit there, while the 7.5 by 2 is serving as the card holder spaces, which we're going to be having 8 of them in total. Next thing to do now is to cut out the leather for all the pieces of the chipboard. So just follow me as I cut out leather for every piece of the chipboard, leaving like ½ inch allowance around each of the chipboards. Once this has been completed, the next thing is to gum the chipboard to the leather. So you're going to apply gum on the chipboard and on the leather for every leather piece and every chipboard piece. Avoid applying gum on the parts where the lines are drawn, because you are going to need those lines to be able to know where to place your magnet. So just follow me as I apply gum on the chipboard and apply gum on the leather, and please note all the parts that are being folded as well. Note all the parts that are being folded. On the facing, please note that all those parts that are folded, that are cut in, are going to be cut out. I'm not going to be folding them. You can see the way I'm cutting out those particular parts. And I'm going to do the same for the 7.5 by 2. So please just note all the parts that are cut out and all the parts that are folded for every single one top of the leather and G-board. Alright. Once all the gumming has been completed, it should look like this. So you're going to cut lining for the 7.5 by 3.5, the 7.5 by 2 in 4 places. Then you're going to place the lining and the leather on each other just like that, and you sew the edges. You're putting the leather on the lining. Okay, the lining does not really need any allowance, just a little bit of allowance for the upper part. Do this sewing for all the edges of the 7.5 by 3.5 and the edges of the 7.5 by 2 inches as well. Once this is done, we are going to apply gum to gum the lining to the chipboard. Now you're going to apply gum on the chipboard for each of them, and you're going to use it to hold your lining down. Once this has been completed, you're going to trim out the excess lining on each of these materials. You're going to trim out the excess lining around it. Make sure you're not leaving any threads out or any lining coming out at the side. So trim it well. Now it's time to sew, and we're going to start by joining the 4 card holder spaces, which is 7.5 by 2. We're going to start with the first one, place it exactly where that curve starts from, and then sew it down to the facing. Once the sewing is completed, you're going to put this next one and do the same thing. You do the same thing again for the next one, leaving the one that was not cut out alone as the last one. Now place the 4th one on it and then mark the center point. You mark the center of that 7.5. You can rule a line, then sew a straight line in the middle. So with that, it's going to be giving you 4 card holder spaces in the middle, 4 on one side and 4 on the other side. Make sure your line is as straight as possible. The next thing is we're going to be joining the 7.5 by 3.5 to the upper part of the purse. It's also going to be filling that space that was cut out on the facing. So just sew a straight line down to hold it down. Okay, now we're almost done. The interior part of our purse is ready, and now we're going to fix the magnet. The magnet has 2 sides. It has the flat part and the magnetic part. So mark the center point of your flap 1 inch from the top and fix the hole for the flat part of the magnet there. Once the holes has been marked, use it to mark the other side where the magnet is going to be closing to it, which is on the body of the purse. Once you have marked the other side, then fix the holes and fix your magnet just as it is in the video. You should have it looking like this when you're done. Then you apply gum on both sides of the chipboard, and we're going to place it on each other to do our final sewing. Once you've applied the gum, leave it to dry for a bit. And ensure that it aligns properly. Once this is done, all you have to do is sew the edges round and your purse is ready. Now that you're done, fold the purse properly to give it the shape you want.